Another week full of exciting topics in the world of sports. There's so much to discuss in so little time. I want to start the show, obviously, the same way I always do, man. Thanking everybody for hitting all of the social sites, hitting the YouTube page, hitting liking, hitting the like button, sharing, subscribing, hitting the bell notification so that you are alerted when we go live. Um, we thank y'all, man. We are ready to creep over 25,000 views on the YouTube page, which is huge and which does not happen without the support of good people. So again, I did make a post on the Facebook page this week, informing everybody that we had gone over 20,000 views. Now we getting close to 25,000 just a couple of days later, and that does not happen with the support of the Everybody Has One family. So
Appreciate
we
y'all.
appreciate it. Thank you very, very much. Also, I was last time we had a lot going on in the studio and where we record, but I was remiss. I did not mention that young Elijah Arenas had gotten into a bad car
Oh
crash.
yeah.
I was very sad to see that, but I'm happy to report that this week he was released from the hospital. So
Yeah.
they cautiously optimistic that he's going to make a full recovery,
Yeah.
and we're obviously the Everybody Has One family is going to continue to keep the Arenas and Govine families in our prayers and our thoughts. So now that we got a little bit of business out the way, man, let's get right down to it.
Let's do it.
um the NFL draft happened this past week. We had recorded the show. We had some audio issues with the show, so we were not able to put it out. But
Our
um,
bad.
yeah, hey, listen, it happens, man. You're dealing
Yeah.
with electronics and technology. But we touched on the Shador Sanders situation and what took place there. I'll take your thoughts on that again. You know, it's deja vu. I know we've talked about it, but
Yeah,
let's
man.
discuss it again, man, for the benefit of the listener and the benefit of the people. Um, your
Yeah.
thoughts?
Yeah, man. It's it's like you say, it's a deja vu. But a week ago when we were talking about the draft, before the
Yeah.
draft, I was like, I really, really hope that it did not turn into the Shador Sanders watch.
Well, so much for that.
Not only did it turn into the Shador Sanders watch, I mean, it turned into like Shador Sanders gate.
Right. It
Yeah,
did. It
I
did.
mean, this thing just kind of, it took over a mind of its own,
Yeah.
man. I mean, it started going from, conversations about parenting and identity politics
Yeah.
and collusion
Yeah.
and people going back to Colin Kaepernick. And I mean, it just went down just a rabbit hole of just, a litany of different, angles and perspectives.
Hmm.
Um, me personally, like we touched on last week, I was hoping that Shador didn't get penalized for his father.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I was hoping that that didn't happen. I mean, reports have come out that he didn't do so well.
In some of the
In some of
interviews.
the
Yeah.
interviews, and he wasn't prepared. I guess with the Giants, with Brian Dayball, and all of that, this, that, and the third. And I mean, that may be true.
Yeah. Right.
Um, but what is also true is there's no way in hell that the Johnny Unitas Golden Arm winner goes in the fifth round after Jalen Milrow.
Yeah.
I mean, like, so I mean, there was, I mean, in my opinion, some, to a degree, um, um, a little bit of buck breaking.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Yeah.
like they had to let him know that, and I don't think it was cool. It's certainly, like I said, I mean, 144 fifth round. I mean, that was ridiculous to me.
Yeah.
You
Absolutely.
know what I mean? Like, okay, late second round.
Yeah.
If that's how you felt, okay. But for every team to pass on them four times,
Yeah.
I think that was excessive.
Yeah.
You know what
Absolutely.
I mean? And again, I mean, it's the NFL. You know, they do what they want when they want. They put out whatever narrative they want to be out,
Correct.
and they drive it home.
Yeah.
And I mean, it's the same thing, happening again. Um, because the thing about it, what I found funny was that once Shador got drafted, the floodgates opened up on all the Colorado receivers
Yeah.
getting drafted.
Yeah.
Colorado had the most wide receivers get drafted out of any other school in the draft.
Mm.
And the floodgates opened up right after Shador got drafted.
Yeah.
So I mean, to everybody that's saying, "Oh, don't be so quick to run to collusion." I mean,
Yeah.
I mean, if it looks like a duck
Yeah.
and it walks like a duck,
I mean,
it ain't a rabbit.
yeah.
So I mean, you work with that however you want to work with it.
Yeah.
I think the situation was foul.
Yeah.
Um, I think instinctively, when you kind of see the recent history of like some of the things that go on with the NFL, you could be quick to say, "Oh man, they holding the brother down." Like, no, I mean, yeah, I'm sure that played a part of it, but you can kind of separate it from whereas, if you really sit down and dissect it, yeah, you could kind of see this coming.
Yeah.
But I don't think anyone saw to the degree.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
That was the thing with me. I just think the fifth round thing was just super egregious
Yeah.
and just like over the top excessive
Mm-hmm.
in terms of, just like giving the young man his lashes, so to speak. You know what I mean? I didn't think that was cool. And the prank calls and all that, that's another conversation.
Yeah, that
You
was
know.
ridiculous. I mean, well, people don't saying don't be so quick to run to collusion. I'm sprinting right
Right.
there. It was definitely collusion. There's no question about it. Again, I will reiterate: if Shador Sanders filed a lawsuit, a collusion lawsuit, it wouldn't make it past depositions
Right.
before the NFL will settle it.
Right.
Boomer Esiason came out and essentially admitted it. He said, the owners instructed executives and GMs to remove Shador from their draft board. Multiple owners did that. That's come out this past week. He said that.
Wow.
So there's no question
That
that
sounds like collusion.
it's collusion. I'm like, this was collusion. Now, again, I don't know that Shador should ruin his career and by filing a collusion lawsuit because again,
Right.
they will pay you a large settlement, but they'll also make you sign something that says, yeah, and we can continue to collude against you. We're
Right.
not going to stop the unethical behavior simply because you caught us
Right.
doing it, because that's essentially what happened to Colin Kaepernick. They colluded against him. He caught him. He sued him.
And we never found out how much money he got paid.
Yeah,
but it was definitely enough for him to shut the hell up.
Exactly. You see, and he went quietly into the good night because essentially they're going to make you sign an NDA that says we can continue to collude, though. We're not going to let you into our league. This is a payoff for you to
Right.
go somewhere and sit down. So, I don't recommend that he do that, but this was textbook collusion. This was owners getting together essentially to damage his draft stock, and which cost him millions of dollars. There's no doubt about it. If you go in the first round, the amount of money that you get versus going in the fifth round, the amount of years that you get that are basically protected, where the organization is invested in you, that is different. So it certainly cost him millions of dollars, but he now has the number one selling rookie jersey of anybody.
So let me ask you, why do you feel they did it?
I mean, you know what? The why is more complicated. The only
You're
thing
good at breaking down complicated stuff. That's why
Yeah.
I specifically asked
Yeah,
you
I
that.
mean, so here's the thing. I am more sure about them actually doing it than I'm sure about why. I agree with some of what you said. I think that Dion didn't help. His father being Deion Sanders did not help. I think that him being confident and cocky. Listen, let's be real. Confident black men threaten a certain kind of white man. I'm not going to say that every white man is
Nothing's
like
a
that.
monolith.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, like I know that that's not, it's not, probably not even the majority.
Right.
But I do think there is some truth
You
to
just
the
need a
fact.
few to have enough influence. I get
Correct.
what you're saying.
Yeah, I
I
think
get you.
I think a few, because there have been a few reports that he came in and he said, if you don't want to change the culture of your locker room, don't draft me. Because if I get drafted to a bottom feeder, we're going to change the mindset and the culture in the locker room. Now, in my opinion, that's a good thing.
That's the guy I want.
Exactly. That's a good thing for him to say, if there is a losing I mean, and of course, I guess what they were saying was that some coaches
Um,
took that as also,
oh
what you
yeah,
saying about
so
my locker room,
yeah, so you saying we gonna have like DJs in the locker
Yeah.
room, at halftime?
Well,
That's
I don't even necessarily think that. I just think that some coaches
man.
and
I think some
executives.
GMs 100% felt that way.
Yeah, well, I mean, but even if
Because
I'm
you look at Colorado's locker room, that's what they had. I
yeah,
mean, you look at their locker room
but
after
that's
the game.
Dion. That's not
That's what I'm
Shador.
saying. But again, it's to kind of your point,
Yeah, like
where it's
yes.
like the sins of the father.
Yeah, Dion did
You get
not
what I'm
help.
saying?
But just to deal with the Shador aspect of it,
Mm-hmm.
I think that some coaches took that as him slighting the locker room as it
Okay.
was. You know what I'm saying? Like, what you saying about the current locker room? You gonna change the culture? I don't want my culture changed because I'm the coach or I'm the executive, and we built the culture. And I'm sure he didn't say that to the
But if
Lions.
you're like in the top five,
Yeah,
your
right.
culture probably sucks ass.
Right. I mean,
So like, what are we
but
talking about?
members within the organization
Yeah, I
not
get
being
you.
self-aware.
I get right.
That's what it is. Because the thing about it is, it's the old adage that of somebody being born on third base acting like they hit a triple.
Mm-hmm.
The thing is that the NFL has revenue sharing.
Mm.
So if the Jets and the Giants suck, but Kansas City is raking in a ton of, what I'm saying? Then they all just put the 9 billion or 10 billion or $11 billion in the pot, and they split it up
Yeah.
32 ways. So it doesn't necessarily, you don't have to be running your organization well. Like, there's well-run organizations in the NFL, and then there's poorly run ones as well.
Good old trickle down economics.
But everybody gets the same amount. So how do you know who's running it well and who's not?
Right.
Because it's a revenue sharing league. And so I think that a lot of times people are not. So I mean, we've been Lions fans. I mean, how delusional and unaware have has ownership been in the past and general managers?
Yeah, that's real. The better part of what, 60
Yeah,
years.
I bet you Matt Millen, to evoke the name of the worst general manager in the history of professional sports, if you came and told him, "Hey, I'm going to come in and change the culture," he would probably get offended because number one, he's not self-aware,
I want to
and number
win, and
two,
damn it, I want to win now.
yeah, right. But you don't know what you're
God,
doing. Then fire yourself.
man, it was dark times, bro. It
Yeah.
was dark times.
But just to put a bow on the Shador Sanders conversation, the why is something that will probably take to figure out.
Mm.
I have an idea as to why I believe. Yeah, you hear that echo? Yeah. I have an idea as to why I believe that Shador, his draft stock was so damaged, but I'm gonna wait on you to give me the green light. You see what's going on, or you want me to keep talking? Okay. Yeah, but I have theories about why I believe his draft stock was damaged, but I couldn't say definitively. But I'm with you. I mean, it's Dion, is straight his throwing ability at all.
You
I mean,
know,
yeah, like I think he's good with his leg.
Joe Dion and his boy a lesson.
Yeah.
Uh, in spite of that, Shador has the number one selling
Jersey for any
jersey.
rookie.
Definitely cheesing about that.
Yep.
Um, so we know that means that his celebrity is going to travel.
Yeah. I mean, that was
So,
gonna happen anyway.
right.
He's a household name essentially.
Do you think if, say, there's still some quote unquote perceived defiance um, from Shador or Sanders camp leading into training camp,
Hmm.
that there's a possibility that Shador becomes a draft body?
Well, I don't know, man. I feel like this part of it is probably over. But yes, I mean, when they colluded to damage your draft stock, you have to question whether or not the opportunity is going to be, efficacious. You have to question that. But in reality, no, I don't believe that no, I don't really believe that he's not going to outplay every quarterback on Cleveland's roster, including Taylor Gabriel. He's
Okay.
going to outperform them and he's going to win that starting job.
I mean, I
If I
think
had
he
to
should.
predict.
I
Yeah.
mean, I think he should if he's given a fair shot to.
Yeah, that was my point. But I think that all things being equal, Shador is going to win the day. But at any rate, let's shift gears, man, to our next topic. How we sounding, man? Oh, is that why I hear the echo? It's okay. It's two things playing at one time. Gotcha. Okay. Uh, let's talk about the NBA playoffs, man. Their five series are now over. There's three that continue. Um, Obviously, last night the headline, the biggest story, is LeBron being eliminated. LeBron and the Lakers. Of course, you have to say LeBron first because LeBron is always the headline. But all of the Lakers and five people are complaining. But give me your thoughts, man. What are your thoughts on the future of the Lakers, the performance of the Lakers? I mean, the performance of the Timberwolves. Let's not leave them out. I mean, credit to them; they had to actually go out and win the games and outplay the Lakers. So, what are your thoughts?
First of all, let me say rest in peace, Kobe Bean Bryant.
Yeah,
Let me get that out the way
he
first and
definitely
foremost.
did at least a 360 in that grave
And happy
yesterday.
19th birthday, Heavenly Gigi.
Yeah,
God rest her soul.
indeed.
The Los Angeles Lakers are they're like a venereal disease, a recurring one.
Yeah,
It's like, dude, you can't get away from the Lakers.
no,
They are the most narrative shifting, narrative hogging, oxygen consuming franchise. Like, damn near, they got to be in sports. Like, I think they've replaced the Yankees and the Cowboys as like the most insufferable franchise that is covered in sports.
yeah. I
And
mean,
and to that point, like NBA media, and they suck. They absolutely suck, dude. Because I promise you, all you got to do is go back 10 days before the playoffs started when the Lakers went to Oklahoma City on that Sunday
yeah,
and they beat OKC by 24 points. Oh, here we go.
right.
Oh, Lord. OKC, KFC, USC, Lakers
Lakers
in
in
five.
five, right?
Then you go online, everybody's coming up with their own Laker in five haiku.
Right.
and all this other lame shit. And then now when the Lakers get beat, it's everybody's fault. JJ Redick was a genius 2 weeks ago.
Right.
Now JJ Redick's inexperienced, and all he did was coach fourth grade.
Yeah. I mean,
You
well,
know,
that was true. That was true even when he was doing well.
but I'm saying the narrative was he's the wonder kid. He's the next Pat Riley.
Yeah.
And I don't think JJ Redick's a bad coach. I think he made some costly errors in this series.
You think?
I mean, but this
Not
is
substituting for
but
a half?
yeah, I mean, but I'm saying this is his first year coaching NBA basketball. He was clearly out of his element.
Yeah. I mean,
Like he was clearly out of his element.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? But that being said, they were in a lot of those games.
Yeah. It was in every game.
You know what I
I
mean?
don't think they got blown out at all.
So I mean, it's like the same thing that brought you to the party is gonna keep you there.
Yeah.
So I mean, do I think he's a good coach? No,
No. Man.
but I mean, I don't think he's like god awful terrible. But that being said, the Lakers, bro, 2 weeks ago, JJ Redick was the next Pat.
Yeah. Not to
Uh,
me, by the way.
exactly. But I mean, you're a sensible
Yeah.
basketball fan.
Right.
You get what I'm saying? Uh, Vanderbilt was supposed to be this do it all perimeter defender with a high motor.
Yeah.
Dorian Finney Smith,
Yeah.
was another wing defender.
Right.
Uh, Austin Reeves was the Kobe of the Ozark. He's Kobe of Walmart
Right.
today.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying? Like now, all of a sudden, I mean, it is flipped on its head to where now, well, when you really think about it, when you got Luka Doncic, they were building for the future. But in the same sentence,
Yeah.
they'll say they got to maximize LeBron's time. You
Mhm.
can't have both.
They can.
You can't.
They can
Because
have
here's
all
the
the
thing.
narrative.
Because here's the thing that I wonder. Because Luca can opt out next year.
Mm-hmm.
Do we really want to stick around for this? Like this morning, all of a sudden, Luka Doncic ain't shit. Like all of a sudden, like Luka Doncic, oh, he's fat.
Yeah.
He's
He is
gotten blown
construction
by
zone on
this many
defense. Yeah.
times. Like anything you could think of that was the worst Luka he is today. Whereas a week ago, oh man, him and LeBron. I mean, Luka by himself, Luka Magic. I mean, get
I know.
ready. I mean, I'm just saying, he took him to the finals last year. I mean, look at this. But today, Luka sucks. And then now today, wait for it.
Yeah.
Maybe Nico Harrison knew something we didn't know. Man, let me tell you something. Nico Harrison still messed up
Yeah.
trading Luka Doncic for a bag of Funyuns and a half drunken iced tea. Like, stop. Like, I'm not buying it. Period. Like Luka Doncic is 26 years old in his prime. He was injured when he got traded,
Yeah.
injured when he got to LA. They rushed him back to play, came back to play only to lead them in scoring and take these bums from floundering to 4, 5, 6. So they was fighting for 2 seed
Yeah.
the last 2 days of the season. But today, all of a sudden, man, I don't know if we want him long term. And again though, it's the Lakers.
Yeah.
It's everything but the game. But to get to the game, I mean, it was kind of, if you watch basketball, kind of inevitable to happen.
Yeah.
If they were by some chance going to get by Minnesota this round, they were going to run a better conditioned team
Yeah.
that could score from the perimeter or have some size in the interior, that we're going to beat them. If they really thought, based off some Saturday afternoon or Wednesday night games, that they could shut down Nikola Jokic for a 7-game series, give me the number of your guy.
Right.
Like you get what I'm saying? So I'll let you touch on. I got more thoughts, but
Yeah.
I'm sure like the Lakers, we
Well,
can go for a while on them.
the first thing that I thought about the Lakers is I'm like, they need to avoid all the long teams. The teams that have a lot of length and a lot of size and a lot of good long uh athletic guys, they need to avoid them.
That's the
And
NBA.
well, no, because I actually think they match up well with OKC because OKC is not big. Like they basically play four perimeter
Dude,
players
did you see,
and Isaiah Hartenstein.
bruh? You thought Austin Reed's numbers were bad against Minnesota.
Oh yeah, he'd have got locked up with
Oh God, they'd have been worse against OKC.
yeah, but I think that
You could have probably played Jackson Hayes against OKC.
yep, and you could
That's fair.
and LeBron would have found it easier to get into the paint. I'm not gonna say because
That's
they have
fair.
good perimeter defenders,
That's fair.
but LeBron is so big and
I'll
but
touch on that later too.
but the thing about it is that Julius Randle is a big body. I mean, they all long and big,
Yeah, for sure.
like Jaden McDaniels,
Bro,
and then they got Rudy Gobert back there, rim protector. Like Isaiah Hardenstein is a good big body. He's a live body, but he's not a rim protector.
that's true. That's fair.
So that was I'm like the Lakers, if they can find a way to navigate the long teams, I'm like they could have a long playoff run. But I didn't expect them to come out of the West. And let me read you some numbers.
Give them to me.
27 points, 14 rebounds, 3 blocks, a steal on 50% shooting. Uh, 28 points, 16 rebounds, 4 assists, a block and a half on 63% shooting. 30 points, 6 assists, 7 rebounds, 1 steal on 45% shooting. Those are LeBron's teammates in the last 3 playoff series that he's had. He's 2-12.
Yeah.
They lost all 3 series. And not to knock LeBron at 4, but his but never the help.
Yeah.
This dude has had a can you imagine even Nikola Jokic, forget going back in the day. Nikola Jokic, you know how many times he's lost the playoff series when he's had a teammate average over 24 points a game?
No.
One time.
Damn.
That was against the Lakers, in fairness,
Damn.
and LeBron in the bubble in 2020.
Okay.
Jamal Murray averaged 25 and they lost. That's the only time in his career that he's had a teammate average 24 points or more.
Oh, that was a series AD hit the buzzer beater with
Yeah,
like game 5.
exactly. But I'm like, that's the only time that that has happened to him. Every time,
Rajon Rondo was pretty big in that series too.
yeah.
Right.
No, I mean,
I mean, we talking about help.
yeah. I'm talking about the hell. No, I'm talking about Nikola Jokic.
Yeah, I know. I was just kind of stuck.
Yeah, I mean, yeah,
on
like
help.
he's had
It's kind of
the
feeds itself.
most help. I'm like that, and by the way,
Yeah,
both
Luka Doncic.
both Denver and Minnesota won All Star on both teams.
Bro. You,
One.
bro, you got Luka Doncic, dog.
Yeah,
You got
this
Luka,
is what I'm
bro.
telling
You
you.
got Luka Doncic, dog. There, I just want to say this, and then we can kind of get back to it because it's like specifically the last night's game.
Yeah,
Uh, The Rudy Gobert Abdul-Jabbar experience that I saw last night is
Rudy.
inexcusable.
Yeah,
I mean,
Rudy Chamberlain.
now, I'm not saying you go in the post and you body him up, predominantly the whole game. But LeBron James eventually, though, I would like to think that he would just say, you know what, effort and take it amongst himself and put a body on Rudy Gobert. I mean, he is 6'9, 270 plus pounds. The man literally said he's somewhere in between, let's just say 215 and 280. So what you think that means?
Yeah,
You,
closer
you,
to 280.
you
Yeah,
get what I'm saying? So I'm like, bruh, your season's on the line.
yeah,
Rudy Gobert is out here having an out of body Doctor Strange experience,
right.
and you let me go down.
But you know who else let it go down? JJ Redick. He said Jackson Hayes, his
That's
only
real.
big body on the bench the entire game.
That's real.
He said at the beginning of the game, Jackson Hayes is not playing. He won't be playing this game.
That's a weird assumption.
Yeah. That's what he said.
They do.
You said at the beginning of the game that Jackson Hayes wasn't going to play.
I was hoping that was a psych out.
Rudy Gobert, Chamberlain, Abdul Jabbar
But I'm saying,
probably heard that and was like, bet.
but this is the same Rudy Gobert who let Terrence Mann take him out of a game 7 and,
Right.
and embarrass him. So I'm saying again, LeBron James, look at the stat sheet at halftime and say, you know what? Enough of this Rudy Gobert shit.
But he's
Because if
but he's
Golden State,
40.
I know, man, don't give me that
I know.
because at the All Star break, you know, they were showing all his numbers from his MVP season when he was 27.
Yeah.
Oh man,
Saying
since
he's,
he
he's
turned 40,
accountable. Yeah.
oh man, I mean, you'd have thought it was a Nugenix commercial. It's just like, oh man, I'm gonna tell you, though, since Brown turned 40, you look at all these numbers. But as soon as he lose, it's 40, he 40.
Yeah, what you
want him to do?
expect? I know.
It's like, well, damn, dog.
They having it both ways
Like
again.
you can't have it both
Yeah.
ways. If
They
you
want it
the
both
GOAT,
ways.
bro, part of being the GOAT is that you're great in spite of.
Yeah.
So like, in spite of the fact that Rudy Gobert is what 7'1", 7'2",
Yeah.
I'm pretty sure you still outweigh Rudy Gobert by 40 pounds.
Yeah.
Get your ass down there and put a body on Rudy Gobert and interrupt this 24 rebound orgy he's having down here on the rim, dude.
Yeah.
Like seriously, if you're not gonna play Jackson Hayes, and if you're evidently cool with that, since you and JJ mind the game,
Yeah.
and you had to co-sign whatever he do, since you definitely co-signed him being there.
Yep.
Like, take some onus. Like seriously, that was crazy.
Yeah.
Because my whole thing is this: if Golden State by chance handles their business and beats
We need to talk
Houston,
about that series too.
we can, no doubt.
Yeah.
Guess who's more than likely going to be itching to guard Rudy Gobert?
Oh, Draymond. Yeah, most definitely.
Another guy, 2 to 3 inches shorter than LeBron and about 30 pounds lighter.
Right. Yeah. But
You
man,
can't go karaoke Draymond Green for a night to keep the season alive. That's
Yeah.
all I'm saying.
listen, man. I don't care.
That's all I'm saying.
I don't care what they showed me about LeBron's defense in the playoffs. LeBron is not taking defense seriously in a minimum a decade. When he went back to Cleveland that second time, he swore off being a great individual defender. I guess I don't know if he said I have to do too much with this roster. I have too many responsibilities. I'm going to absolve myself of playing great individual defense. But that is what it is. He's not been a great defender since he left Miami.
He'll play D in spurts.
He does. No, I mean he has the capability of being a great defender,
100%.
but not the desire. And that has been evident again for the better part of a decade.
That just didn't sit right with me, man. Not Rudy Gobert,
Man.
and yeah, it's a knock on Rudy Gobert's offense. Damn it! Like, no,
Yeah.
Rudy Gobert doesn't get 27 and 24 in a
In an
closeout
important
game,
playout
in a
game. Yeah.
closeout game on your court.
Yeah, because they held Ant-Man to 15. They had a good defensive game plan for him. They just didn't expect Rudy Gobert to turn into
And
Wilt
the thing
Chamberlain.
about it is, if LeBron was the reason Ant-Man had 15 points, then I'd be like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
He held Ant-Man to 15. What was it, 5 of 14 or
Yeah.
something like that?
Yeah.
I would be like, okay. But no, bro, that didn't happen.
No.
So yeah, that kind of bothered me. But yeah, you said you wanted to touch on
Yeah, let's touch on
Houston and the Warriors.
Houston and the
That
Warriors.
scrimmage.
Yeah. So like Dennis
That ain't
Schroeder
good.
down over
Dennis
here. We got the
Schroeder.
Pistons game on to our right. I don't like the way he holding his ankle.
That don't look good at all. Like again with them low tops on.
Man, listen, we old school like that. Everybody
Yeah.
tell me it don't matter from a technology standpoint, but we played in high tops,
Yeah.
and tied them up tight because they protected your ankles.
Yeah, no other
But
way.
that's a conversation for another day. Last night was not a good showing for Golden State, but I think with about 4 minutes left, they got like within 11, and Steve Kerr decided to leave his starters on the bench. Now I felt like the second unit was spent by now, but they got them back in the game. I'm like, why not give your starters a chance to close the series out?
I think what
because Houston had to put their starters back in.
I think what happened was when they got into 13, that's when the whole skirmish
Yeah,
happened with Pat Spencer
yeah,
and
yep. I remember. Yeah, they got
Dale
each other.
Davis's kid
Yeah,
and Sengun.
yeah.
And then
Jackson, Trace Jackson
they
Davis.
ended up getting 4 free throws out of that.
Yeah,
And they made all 4 of them.
right.
And
Well,
then
that's why you should have got Pat Spencer out of there as soon as the game
but
got tight again.
but dude, I mean honestly, I think for a home game that they got coming up, I think long term that might help them out.
Yeah, but remember that moment if they end up losing this series.
But I think the starters were cooked that game. They were cooked.
But they had been on the bench for the whole half,
I mean,
basically.
the part of the reason they were on the bench, they were like collectively like -14, and the bench was like +13.
Yeah, I agree. But when your second unit gets you back in the game and they're tired, the second unit was tired because they not used
Oh
to
no,
running
for
a
sure,
whole
I get
half.
it. I just think the starters should have just checked out.
I'm like 4 minutes left. I'm putting my start in a chance to close out a team. I'm going back with my starters. I'm gonna give them a chance. Like go out there and close this thing.
Yeah, I think they punted. And ideally, I would agree with you, but I think in this particular case, your stars are 37,
Yeah.
35, and then the other one's just coming off a back contusion.
All the
And
more reason
I
to
think they
finish
punted.
this series
I,
because Houston, another full basketball game with Houston, who's young, they spry, they
right.
physical.
But if they win, they going against a young spry Minnesota in the same
Yeah,
interval of
but
time.
but you want fewer games. I'm like you, I'm not saying that they would have completed the comeback. I'm just saying with 4 minutes left, we got 4 minutes. Let's try and get this thing
I mean, I
done.
understand it.
Let's get this out the way because no whole nother game with Houston, and now they got confidence because they basically ran you off the floor. You know, I, m- I don't know. To me that felt like a coaching error by Steve Kerr. All of this raising the white flag, and I'm gonna just let my starters sit here and watch. Listen, as a competitor, that just doesn't jive with me. In my opinion, you go back, you put them. Okay, we got 4 minutes, man. Let's see if we can get this thing down to 6, 7 points. um, even if they got it back to 13 or 14, like let's see if we can make a little push. Steph Curry didn't. He took his ankle braces off,
Right. That was gonna be my point. So you go out there with a psycho like Dylan Brooks, and then Steph Curry turns his ankle, and now he's kaput for Game 6
but he
at that you got at home.
but Dylan Brooks gonna be a psycho in Game 6 for the whole
Right.
game.
But it's pretty much a foregone conclusion that that game they weren't winning that game.
I mean that I didn't think that was a foregone conclusion within 11 with like 3.5 minutes left, and they had momentum, and the starters would have been fresh.
But they were playing like shit. Like they
Yeah,
weren't making shots. Like they were bad that night.
yeah.
I just think like I said, if this was the Warriors when Steph was 28, 29, where they could come in and get hot, I just don't think they could have came off the bench where they were literally chilling. Like
Yeah,
they were checked out.
right.
I just don't think Steve Kerr could have been, all right, guys, let's go back in. We down because I think they got it to 13. They may have got it to
They
11.
got it to 11.
Okay.
Yeah, they definitely got it to 11.
But I know it was like 11, 13, and then that sperm just jumped off of it because I was thinking, damn, if they could have cut it to 9, because I'm like you, if they could get now single digits, that's different because that's 3 possessions.
Yes, I mean 11 points is
Like
essentially
like I just
with
thought,
4 minutes left.
like I said, I got my numbers mixed up. I thought it was 13.
Yeah, no, they got it to
Yeah, I thought it
11.
was 13.
And
But
when they got it there, I'm like, oh, you know, and then because Steph got up, and they like, oh, maybe he gonna come back, and I'm like, I would put my starters back in and see if what we can get done,
yeah,
because what you don't want as Golden State, they gonna be the oldest team left. I don't want extra games. I don't want extra games against a young team that's gonna be game and confident. They gonna be in the dog. I mean, because all of these games have been dog
right.
fights,
Yeah,
really,
I don't think they
aside from
worried
this
about it.
last one.
I think they punted.
Yeah, I agree. But
Yeah.
what I'm saying is that if you end up losing this series and you didn't give yourself a chance when you got it to within 11, that's gonna be uh something that you go back to, like, damn, maybe we should have given ourselves an opportunity to close it right then. Because I'm telling you, you don't want extra games with a team like Houston, man.
Yeah, I understand that, but I just think that just didn't feel like a winnable game. It
When
just,
they
I
got
mean,
it to 11,
I did that just didn't feel
I
like a
felt like
winnable
they
game.
had the momentum. Ime put his starters back in.
Right,
I want to reiterate that because they was
right,
on the bench chilling too.
right.
But he said, "Oh, no, no, no. This is down to 11,
But
30."
that's because he put his starters back because his bench blew it.
Right,
He's
that's what I'm saying.
justified for putting his starters
I
back in. The bench shit the bed.
I agree. But I would have, but the bench was spent for Golden State. That's why the game got opened back up again
Yeah,
because they
I don't
running
know.
for an entire half.
'Cause I don't know. I just like if he put his starters back in, Kirk puts his starter back in, you still spotting them 11 when they already was beating you by 40. So I don't
Yeah.
know.
Okay. Well, let's shift gears, man. That's the other series that is
Who you got
continuing.
tomorrow though? You got Golden State closing it out, or you think Houston taking it to game 7?
I don't know, man. I like Houston. I like Houston's momentum now.
Okay.
You know what I'm saying? I just feel like that. I don't know. You seized a momentum, but I mean, we'll see. Time will tell because Golden State is very good at home,
But
so
see,
we'll
my
see
thing
how it
is,
works.
man, that ain't the Oracle crowd.
Yeah,
You know what I mean? Like
the
that's
Chase Center.
that Chase Center. It's not Oracle, bro.
Yeah,
It's just not. Like big games in Oracle is like, they would have like the Air Force decibel meter outside. Like
yeah,
it's loud, wow. But yeah, we'll see. It
yeah,
should be good. Hopefully it's more competitive than that debacle last
yeah.
night.
I know, really. And then the final series that's continuing is the Clippers and the Nuggets. That's 3-2 as well. Um, I think are they? No, they in LA
Yeah,
tonight.
they're in LA tonight in the Inuit
Yeah, in the
Dome.
Inuit Dome. Um, you expect the Clippers to tie that series?
Does that require me believing in James Harden?
No, not
Okay.
really.
Okay, if I can kind of lean on Kawhi Leonard.
Yeah, Kawhi been balling, man.
I mean, I don't have no problem. I've seen Kawhi do it twice.
Yeah, Kawhi is a monster. But yes, you're right. James Harden, he's been persona non grata these last two games. I don't know what his deal is.
And can Jamal Murray show a back-to-back game?
Yeah, that's another guy that but he has done it in the playoffs
That's what I'm
many
saying.
times.
But I'm talking about in this particular series. If he can bring any of that
Yeah,
to the dome tonight, the Clippers may be in trouble.
yeah, I agree. Listen, that series is hard to read.
Yeah,
It's a
because they
real
have so
toss
many
up.
volatile players.
They do. Yep, they got guys that can help and that can get hot, but consistency is key.
Yes.
So yeah, we'll see. Man, let's shift gears. Um, we'll go ahead and do a word from our sponsor.
Oh man, we definitely got to do that. Got to take care of the people that help pay the bills,
No
right?
doubt, man. Cater to her. Floral, I like that, man.
Yeah, man. It's Mother's Day season coming up.
Yeah. And man, listen, every man, just make that a favorite on your search bar. Put that thing, bookmark that thing. Cause flowers are always a win, man. You know your girl work with some dusty hood rat, man, that she want to stun on, man. Send her some flowers up there to the job and stop playing.
Terrible.
Man, every woman work with some dusty hood rat that she don't like, that ain't got no man. Send some flowers up there, man, so she can stun on the hood rat. You'll
Yeah,
be a hero.
absolutely. But for those who don't know, Cater to Her Florals is a premier minority-owned floral company that infuses every order with a unique blend of Southern charm and hospitality. They provide upscale, high-end floral courier services delivered by tuxedo representatives who are dedicated to exceeding your expectations with style and charisma. This year's Most Valuable Mothers campaign in celebration of Mother's Day will run from now until May 9th, the Friday before Mother's Day. Orders placed by April 30th have a base price that would have been yesterday, would have a base price of $65. But what you can do, if you contact the owner, and tell them you saw this advertisement or you heard about this promotion on the Everybody Has One sports show,
Yes,
you
sir.
will receive an additional discount. So they're going to look out for you. Please note that deliveries are within a 15-mile radius of the 48307 zip code, but that additional delivery charge may apply for locations outside of that radius. Each customized arrangement will come with a personalized card featuring your special message, and you can choose to have your bouquet presented in a vase or elegantly wrapped in floral paper. Thanks again for your continued support. You can reach Cater to Her Florals at 818-457-1980. Again, that is 818-457-1980. Or you can also reach them at Cater to Her Florals at gmail.com. That is CATER, the number two, HER, florals at gmail.com.
Man, I just caught some. I didn't realize that a tuxedo representative brings the flower. That's fly, man.
Yeah,
For that Dusty Hood rat, if you don't have a man, you can have the tuxedo representative come and you can be like, that's my man.
yeah, that's that ebony man of the month
Yeah,
right
right
there.
there. So no, man, that's dope, man. Yeah. Thank you so much to Cater to Her Florals.
Love y'all. Appreciate
And
y'all.
we appreciate your continued patronage and support. We got a big boxing card coming up this weekend, and
Yeah,
just like I
man.
remarked to you before we started the show, I didn't realize Canelo fought this weekend.
Yeah.
That kind of slipped past me. He fighting some guy. What's his name? Skull? Is it? I'm like, man, who is Canelo fighting? Who is this guy?
I know was it Saturn
William Skull.
Willie Skull.
Yeah, and see, this is my problem with Canelo,
But they was
man.
trying to hype my man up.
Of course they trying to hype him up. They promoting the fight. But I ain't never heard of William Skull, and I'm a boxing fanatic. Who is William Skull?
He about to be the next victim. That's what's gonna
Right.
be.
That sounds like a video game villain. Though. You got to go up against William Skull. But yeah, so William Skull.
I mean,
But
he's had 23 fights, 9 wins by KO.
yeah, I mean, no, I'm sure he's probably a good fighter. There's a lot of tough fighters out there, but I'm like Canelo just keep fighting all of these dudes. Like, man, fight Crawford already, man. Fight David Benavidez. Come on, man. You know the fights we want to see.
Yeah, I don't know that was just like out of the blue.
Yeah, that's what I'm
I mean, I
saying.
was looking forward, more so to the card tomorrow night.
Yeah,
That bigger
absolutely.
card,
And that's the one we're gonna talk about.
and then I guess the zone.
Yeah, y'all.
Canelo found a bum to pick him
Yeah,
off the
that's what I
street.
was about to say. Y'all can talk amongst yourselves
Like,
about Alvarez versus Skull.
y'all throwing money around? Let me
Yeah,
get some of that action.
right,
This is my shit.
right. Some
Like,
dude they found at the plant working in the foundry. Yeah, but tomorrow we got Ryan
don't run up
Garcia.
on me, William Skull.
Right. I wouldn't, man, he could deliver my DoorDash. I wouldn't know William Skull, bro. So I don't know. He could run up on me. I'll be like, who are you, sir?
Like,
I'm
I
calling
heard
the police. Anyway, Ryan Garcia, Devin Haney, Teofimo Lopez, all on the card tomorrow night. Should be a great one. They in Times Square, tricking out Times Square, turn it into a boxing arena.
yeah, I'm interested to see
Yeah,
how
to
that
see how,
turns
yeah,
out.
the
Yeah,
aesthetic of that.
that
Yeah,
should be
that
live.
should be dope. Um, what do you expect, man? You expect the favorites? You expect Garcia, Haney, and Lopez to win? I mean, Garcia's fighting Raleigh,
Is he
so
gonna be clean?
I would hope so.
I mean, no, I mean Ryan Garcia when he's engaged,
Yeah,
man.
he's tough, man,
When
and he
when
can punch.
when Ryan's engaged, he's a hell of a fighter. I think he'll handle his business.
Yeah, I think so too.
Um, I think I'm most interested in seeing Tiafimo.
Right. I
Um,
want to see what Haney is gonna look like. I do want to see what Haney
I'm
gonna look like.
interested to see what he looked like, but I guess with Tiafimo, I think he needs the best showing more than the other two.
Yes.
You
I
know,
don't know. I think Haney is he fighting for his life out here, man. Because he when was the last time Devin Haney looked impressive?
I agree. No, I'm not arguing that, but I think Tiafimo needs it.
Yeah, listen.
No, I'm talking about him personally.
Yes,
Like
I know
I
what you're
think
saying. For
upstairs for him
psychological, yeah,
because he was there.
right,
You know what I mean? He was about to be a superstar.
yeah,
You know what I mean? And it was just kind of like one of those things. I don't know what was going on with him and his father and his camp and a lot of out of the ring stuff,
yeah,
you know. And then it started to reflect in the ring, starting to box hurt
yeah,
and things like that. So I'm just hoping he's out of his head
yeah,
and can get back to being the Teofimo Lopez of, let's say, like, 2017, 2018, when, he was like a superstar in the making.
yeah.
But I feel you on Devin Haney. Like, Devin Haney haven't looked impressive in a couple of months of Sundays.
Yeah, that's what I'm
You know
like.
what I mean? So I guess more so with me with Teofimo, I'm rooting for him to have the best showing.
Yeah, I am too. I don't really care for the Hanks. No, I don't have anything against Devin. I'm just not a fan of Bill.
Yeah, yeah.
I don't hate him.
Bill and Oscar was just getting into it
Yeah,
at
I know. Yeah,
at the
you were
press.
just telling me that. I'm gonna have to go back and check that out. I missed that. But yeah, no, this is a fight card that I'm definitely looking forward to. Should be good. Um, I'm looking at Devin Haney. I'm most interested in him
Right, right.
because I want to see how he's going to look. Because is this his first fight since Ryan, or did I
No, I
did I
believe it's the second one.
second?
I believe
Okay,
it's the second one after Ryan.
I don't think I cared about the last one because it was against somebody who probably mows lawns from Monday to Friday. But no disrespect, because I really don't remember who it
Yeah, I
was.
believe
So
he had
y'all
one
don't get
after
in my
Ryan.
mentions like Smitherman McGillicuddy. I was the one that fought Devin Haney. So I don't know.
Put some respect on my name.
Yeah, Smitherman. If that was you, dog, don't please don't get in my mentions. Don't get in my DMs.
But I wonder, what does this lead to? So, like say all three of them, Garcia, Haney, Lopez, they all look impressive.
Yeah,
Like, is this leading towards something? Are they building towards something?
man. I would think that either Shakur or Javante would be the prize, right? Because
You would think.
Javante has said that he's not going to fight Lamont Roach again immediately. I
I
would
wonder
think
why.
because I think he wants to see what goes on with this card, and possibly maybe rematch Garcia, maybe fight Haney. He's not going to fight Shakur. You know, I'm not gonna say he ducking Shakur because I don't necessarily think that, but I just think that he's not interested in that fight.
What about Shakur and Roach?
I like that. I mean, I would like Shakur against either one of these
Yeah,
guys.
I mean, I would take Shakur in a fight against anybody that's,
Me too.
a sound fighter that's worth it. But I just want him to make the fight happen.
Yeah, I agree.
Like those two guys have been sitting out in limbo for the past like year and a half, 18 months. But again, like I said, that whole situation with Shakur and the unfortunate situation with Takeoff, I still think that may
Yeah,
be
that shook him up.
affecting him, but rightfully so.
Yeah, absolutely.
You
I
know,
mean, that's a scary situation. So yeah, we'll be keeping our eyes on that, man. Let's get into some rapid fire real quick.
let's hit it.
So I don't know how aware you are of the topic du jour, but the most discussed thing on the internet right now is 100 men versus one gorilla. What are your thoughts on this?
Just
I know this ain't kind of a sports topic, but everybody's talking about it.
of the current problems that need collaborative innovation and thought.
Yeah,
This
it's very low on the list.
this is the shit that we are focusing on.
It
It
is
is, and I'm talking about. I have seen people like dig
into
into
the
this.
weeds. Yes, I've gotten me and my son got into the
I
weeds
mean,
about
like,
this yesterday.
okay, so God, I can't believe I'm
Even broaching it.
So when they say 100 men,
Yeah.
are we talking like just like Joe Six Pack?
Yeah. We're just talking about regular
Like, or
men.
are we talking like, Bruce Leroy? Or are we talking guys that lift heavy weight,
I mean,
4 5 days a
any
week?
100 men, I guess.
So we just gonna go with the random, because less than 3% of the population can bench press 225 pounds.
Right.
That's not gonna bode well for you
Yeah,
if you're going up against a gorilla.
I agree.
Okay, so there's that. So the logical answer
Yeah.
is the 100 men.
Yeah. I mean, that's what a lot of people believe.
That's the logical answer.
And I disagree.
But there isn't a scintilla of my being that believes
No.
that it would happen.
Yeah. Listen.
Like, first of all, 30 of you, me included, are running.
Yeah. I was just
30 are running. Listen, when the first when the first like 15 tough guys run up,
mhm,
like hold
and
they
get
nuts
they
like they gonna do something, and like he grabs two of them
yeah.
by the leg
He got 4 hands.
and then start like beating the other
Yeah.
guys, running up with him with the other like two guys that he got in his hand, and then he like rips a couple of faces off.
Yeah. Limbs.
30 guys gonna start running.
Yeah.
So now it's 70.
Yes.
So the first 15 ran up, they all got made.
Mhm.
So that's 55, right?
Yeah.
So now we down to 55 alleged brave souls that's going to strategize and say, all right, so X number going to take this limb,
Yeah.
X number going to take that limb. And
You're not
I
taking
just
no
don't,
limbs.
I don't see it happen.
Man, listen.
Like,
Let me just say, man, an adult male gorilla can lift as much as 4,000 pounds deadlift. He's gonna be throwing niggas like PS5 controllers when the Madden glitches, dog. Do you understand? Any gorilla can deadlift 1,800 pounds.
anyone, 1800.
1,800
That's
pounds.
a lot.
That gorilla is going to be removing limbs from men. It don't even take that much pressure to get a limb off. He's taking limbs. He's going to take your friend's leg and he's going to start waving it over his head like a baseball bat and using it as a weapon.
Yeah.
He's going to be stabbing you with your friend's leg, femur.
Yeah.
This a gorilla is so powerful. Let me tell you something. There's a reason why men invented weapons and we live in shelter. There's a reason why men do that because the contest between man and beast has already been decided. If you run up on that gorilla, you're gonna be on a t-shirt.
But would 100 people
15 niggas get their arms ripped
now?
off.
I'm telling you, the first
85
see,
niggas
I'm
is
telling you, man,
running. Dog.
that first 15 is gonna decide the whole
Yeah.
story, dog.
Like you said 30.
Like,
no, fight or flight is involuntary.
like
The fight or flight,
I don't think like people is prepared to see a fist go through a body.
Yeah. they
Like,
not
you know what I'm
prepared. You
saying?
ain't prepared to see a limb get ripped off.
Like you
You
don't
brave in theory.
like you don't like a nigga head get kicked off, right? You don't be
Yeah.
like onward.
Man, let me tell you,
That don't
that
compute.
little monkey documentary
We
where they
tied up
showed them
49,
people.
49.
Yeah, I see. Though that little monkey documentary where they show these is just monkeys. These
monkeys,
ain't
bro.
gorillas. When these monkeys go crazy,
Kill everybody in
they
the house.
kill everybody in the house. They rip faces
Yeah,
off.
kill everybody in the crib.
This is a monkey. This is a regular little primate.
but I mean, they can propel their bodies from
but they
trees.
so strong,
Yeah,
bro.
dude.
I'm like, are you insane? 100 million ain't even getting near this gorilla.
Where did this come from? Like, where did this?
Some
Like, where
guy
did
asked
this?
it on Twitter or X. He just proposed the question and it went viral. It has 288 million views.
Where that done?
Yeah, of course.
That's another reason why 100 men versus the gorilla won't work. We're too damn stupid.
Yeah,
Like, we're
that part.
captivated by this. 288 million people?
Oh man.
That's
Yes.
crazy.
Yeah, they viewed that. But
Gorilla will whoop your ass.
yeah, give it up. Ain't no 100
And then
million.
throw doo-doo at you
Yeah,
when he does.
for real. He's gonna take your arm off and beat you with it. And your man and them, when they see that, 100, let me tell you, they like,
How
man, well,
many
what
gonna
if
die from a heart attack
yeah, like
when he
they
do this and then somebody head explode
right.
like Gallagher with the watermelon
Yeah.
and shit?
I'm
Like,
like, do you understand how strong you have to be to deadlift 4,000 pounds? Go pick up 300 pounds at
bruh,
your
I
local
don't
gym.
I don't even know how strong the tool has to be to deadlift
That's
4,000
just what I'm saying,
pounds.
bro.
Like, what
He's doing that means he can do the work of a forklift
to your face?
to your face. No, you ain't brave like that.
Yeah, you
When he rip off somebody's leg and start playing home run derby with men, you gonna be like, no, I'm good. They gonna be like, well, what if you in an enclosure and you can't run? You're gonna evade. You ain't gonna run up. You gonna be behind a rock somewhere praying, hoping to God that Harambe Jr. don't find you and rip your head
and
off.
literally tear you in half
Yeah,
like notebook paper.
right. Stop it, bro. But at any rate, that was the fun topic du jour.
Can we find something smarter to solve collectively as 288 million people, please,
Hey
next
man,
week?
Tiger's still hot, man.
Yeah, yeah, we stumbled a little bit against Houston, but we
We
got
did.
one. We got one back last night.
Yep. So they continue to roll along. I still they at the top of the division. So that's pretty much that, man. I'm season. Yeah, man. I,
Kerry Carpenter. What a revelation that kid's
yeah,
man.
no doubt, man.
Man.
I like
And
man. McKinstry is like my favorite Tiger, man.
is he?
I love that guy. He gets a lot of timely hits. It
He
seems like
does.
he's just right on time. Oh, what's the latest with Shannon, man? He's still quiet.
Man, dude. This is sad. Like, dude, I noticed I was watching Nightcap,
Yeah.
all the Boost Mobile junk gone.
Oh, is it?
Dog. Like, they had little nightcap, little light
Mm-hmm.
sign logo with
Yeah.
the Boost Mobile
Right. Right.
underneath it. Man, Chad had a Corey Dillon jersey covering up the Boost Mobile part.
Oh wow.
You know what I'm saying? Now I think he got like a pillow propped up over it.
Mm.
And Shannon got his sign moved off to the side.
Yeah.
Um, the DraftKings logo is off
Oh wow.
the screen on with a Shay Shay.
Yeah. Club Chaser.
Um, dude, they said that $100 million deal that he had, that's off.
Wow.
What is it? Two more. Well, it's not two more cases, but what it was, the reason why he wanted to pay the young lady the 10 million
Right.
is becoming more and more
Of
obvious.
course. Yeah. He
Oh,
just don't want this out.
man, this nigga was wilder
Yeah.
for a long time.
Yeah.
Like evidently, like Shannon has a problem with putting his hands on women that go back as far as 1994.
Mm.
Like, come to find out he was arrested in 94,
Yeah.
2005
Mm.
for, I can't say, for monetization purposes.
Right.
But let's just say aggravated,
Yeah. Yeah.
you know.
Yep.
And now that's coming up.
Wow.
So he's toxic now.
Yeah.
And if he messes around and loses this civil case
Mm,
for SA,
right,
he ain't gonna be on YouTube.
right. Wow.
They won't have a
They want
convicted.
platform. Yeah,
They won't platform a convicted SA.
right.
So now you got um, where he says that he's taking a leave of absence from ESPN
Yeah.
until the preseason.
Mm,
Now we all know that nigga
uh,
ain't never coming back to ESPN.
yeah. I mean,
He, bruh, if they ain't bought back Johnny Depp, who've made them billions
right.
on top of billions, and he was exonerated,
Yeah. And Michael Irvin was exonerated.
Shannon,
Yeah.
and you was the first one to volunteer the freaky shit you was doing.
Right.
You get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And come on, bro.
Yeah.
He's not coming back to ESPN. So that's gone. Your sponsorships for Nightcap and Shay Shay.
Yeah.
I'm not gonna say they're gone, but they're not visible.
Right.
Just so they at least put the brakes
Yeah. They say, hold on, let's see where this goes.
on. And like I said, I'm pretty sure YouTube is in some type of whole pattern on the wait and see hookup with how the SA case goes. So, dude, I mean, this is about as a precipitous as a fall that you will see.
Yeah.
in
And
ter-
speaking of Club Shay Shay, I'm gonna switch gears and then we'll close on this. Did you see the Terrence Crawford interview?
I saw clips of it.
Yeah.
I saw clips of it.
Did you see the clip when they asked if he would fight Jake Paul? And he was like, "Nah, I wouldn't fight Jake Paul." He was like, "For 200 million." He was like, "Yeah, I'm fighting Jake Paul."
Yeah.
Let me tell you something, dog. For 200 million, I'm fighting Jake Paul, Logan Paul, Chris Paul, Ru Paul, Paul George, and Paul Wall in the same night for $200 million. If
That's the
anybody,
purse.
he said,
They talking about 200 million.
yeah, he said it could. Yeah, he was like, if he could raise 200 million, yeah, that's why. Hey, listen, I'm fighting everybody.
The Pauls draw like that. I mean, they draw,
Yeah,
but they draw like
I
that.
think they made 65, 70 million on the Tyson thing.
Wow. And then
Yeah.
you factor in the
Yeah, this is
Crawford
actually
drawing
yeah,
power.
this Terrence Crawford. This is probably the biggest draw in boxing.
So they talking winner takes 200 million,
No,
or they split it.
Terrence would get 200 million. He like if I'm getting 200 million, I'm in that thing. Now this was hypothetical. I'm not saying that any of this is imminent, but I'm
Right,
like,
right.
listen, for 200 million, I'm fighting
That's
everybody.
that's wild.
It ain't nobody I'm not fighting. Except for that gorilla. I ain't fighting the gorilla, but it ain't a man that ain't getting fought for 200 million. It ain't a group of men that ain't getting fought. And I'm gonna be in there scrapping too.
Would you be in an encaged environment with the gorilla for 2 minutes for $200 million?
Yeah, I mean, if the gorilla, because if you don't attack the gorilla, likely the gorilla's not gonna attack you. I mean, long as he fed and everything, you know what I'm saying? Like, but they herbivores though. So yeah, I probably would do that for
I mean, he might decide he just want to play with you and just like slap you upside the head and
yeah,
break your
nah,
neck.
I ain't listen. And for 2 minutes, for 200 million, I'm gonna chance it that I can stay away for 2 minutes. Yeah, but nah, listen,
You know they swing with their feet.
they
Man.
do. They got 4 hands. That's what I'm telling people. Like, bro, he's gonna rip off a leg and use it as a baseball bat.
Oh
Like,
man.
you're not prepared to see that.
All
You're
right, man.
going to
You know
get
what? I don't want to put any more gorilla survival scenarios into the ether, dog. So
At any rate,
nah,
man,
man.
we gonna close on that, man. Thank y'all all for tuning in once again, man.
Like,
Listen,
share, subscribe, hit that
like,
notification.
share, subscribe, hit the bell notification so you are notified when we go live, man. Go to all the social sites. Everybody has one podcast, and we out. Yeah.